Meg from Farmgirl Flowers, and I'm here again to do another styling video. Today we have some mixed Callas that we're going to style. We've got a bunch of different products on the website right now that feature Callas. One of them is Spring Chicken, and we've got a couple other really cute ones on there too. Any vase that you have around the house will work. I found this vase, which I'm going to use today, sort of a scallop light blue color. You'll want to make sure that whatever vase you choose is appropriately sized for the flowers that you have. So obviously don't choose something that's going to be huge. Your flowers are going to be splayed all over the place and not look the best. But you also don't want to choose something that's like super tiny because we've got quite a few stems that we're working with today. You'll also need a pair of clippers or sharp scissors that you have at home. You'll want your flower food that came with your package, and you'll want some water to fill up your vase. So we'll go ahead and do that now. You'll want to sort of fill it up maybe 3/4 of the way full. And I have 30 stems of mixed Callas here that I'm going to be working with today. Once you've got your vase filled with water, you're going to want the flower food that your package came with. Just add that in. Flower food has sugar and citric acid and some other things in it to keep our flowers looking fresh and healthy. Now we'll get started designing. I'm kind of going to take the Callas in pairs and sort of offset them a little bit so I have one taller than the other staggered. Calla lilies are a super linear flower, so in order to add dimension to our arrangement, we're going to do something called staggering. That's basically just when you take two stems like this and you have one lower and one higher. And this just adds dimension and sort of visual interest to the arrangement. And I'm going to hold them up against my vase to sort of measure the height that I want them to be before I cut them, just to be sure that I'm not cutting them too short. The way I'm doing it is that I'm taking two of the same variety and adding those together and then trimming them together. If you have a multicolor mix of Callas, you could take two different colors and add them that way too, whatever feels more comfortable to you. You'll notice I'm sort of adding them to the outside, but obviously the center is going to get more filled in the more that I add. And then I might go in as we get a little more filled in and add some directly to the center. Kind of going to, as with any arrangement, keep turning it because I want it to end up being beautiful from 360 degrees. So I kind of want to just keep turning it to make sure that it's getting filled in from all angles. There's lots to love about Callas, but a couple of the things that are really fun are they come in many different varieties of color. They just come in such a huge variety. Another great thing about Callas is that they're a pretty long-lasting flower. As long as you care for them and sort of make sure that you're changing the water every day, they'll last for quite some time. Some of the more challenging things about working with Callas is that they're a very linear flower, and so what I mean by that is like they kind of just go in a straight line, and all together or on their own, they can sort of look just very straight up and down. So the shape can be kind of challenging, but if you just embrace it and sort of do that trick that we talked about earlier with staggering them, they'll sort of create this very unique, interesting shape on their own. And the shape is actually really cool. It has this sort of like little trumpety head at the top, which is really fun. So you just sort of have to embrace it and know that it's never going to be like a perfectly round circular arrangement if that's what you're going for. With any flower, in my opinion, it's best to just kind of embrace the shape, embrace the direction that the flower is growing. It'll also just help make your arrangement look more natural if you're sort of just going with the natural shape and direction of your flower. Another great benefit of Callas is that the stems are bare, they don't come with any leaves on them, so you don't have to process them. So for that reason, they're a great flower to work with if you're a beginner designer because there's not a ton of extra work involved with taking off any of the leaves from the stems. One of the contributing factors to having them last longer is removing the greens from the stems because any leaves that are left on there that get into the water will introduce bacteria, and because these don't have any leaves on their stems, they are going to last a little bit longer. Now that my outsides are pretty much filled in and I have my overall shape, I'm gonna go ahead and add a couple of things to just fill in the center and cover any exposed stems that are in the center there. I'm finishing up with the back here, and I'm gonna turn it around, and I have one stem left that I'm gonna put in the front. So just again, measuring, gonna finish off with him in the front, and then just do any last adjustments, final adjustments here. Go in the front a little bit more. All right. So it looks great from both sides. I don't have to choose a front or a back. I can kind of make it look nice all the way around. Once you're finished with your arrangement, you'll want to choose a place in your home or your office, wherever you might be, that is going to be away from direct sunlight and out of the way of any direct heat source. And this will ensure that your flowers last for the longest amount of time. Another step that you can take to make sure that your flowers are going to last and remain healthy looking is to change the water. Callas especially like to have fresh water every day, so don't skip this step if you've got calla lilies. The best way to do this is to just grab all of your stems at the same time, hold them in one hand like that, and just lift up. And then you want to pour out this water, wipe out the inside of your vase if there's any debris or anything in there. You want to put fresh water in here. If your calla stems are looking at all dry or like just not the freshest at the end here, you want to give them a little bit of a trim. Just trim off anything that's either dead or brown, or you can sort of do 1/4 to 1/2 inch is a good measurement. And then once you've got fresh water in your vase, you can just flip your callas back in, and you can sort of rearrange them if they've gotten at all moved around when you had to add fresh water. This has been Meg with Farmgirl Flowers. Thank you so much for watching me style some of these really pretty mixed callas. This video will be really helpful in styling any of the current or future calla products that we have on our site. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.